I know that it's a week at a time. It's a one game season. You focus on who you play next. Blah 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 blah. And yes, the Vikings at 1-2, the best 1-2 team in National Football League history, should be 3-0. But what can you do? Getting off the mat with a big-time win against the Seattle Seahawks. Now, looking ahead, the schedule. Everyone was freaking out about the schedule when it came out. Toughest schedule in the league. All the schedules are tough. Unless you get to play the entire NFC East slate, all the schedules are tough. Plus, like we mentioned in a previous video, looking at the schedule, do you think that the Ravens and the Chargers and the Packers and the Niners and Steelers are looking forward to playing to the Vikings? Or is that going to be a game where you have to have your chin strap strapped up tight because it's going to be a slobber knocker of a game? Huh? Exactly. All of these teams are just as freaked out about the Vikings as the teams. Well, Vikings aren't even freaked out. They're just like, whatever. Play who we play. We're going to take care of business. Right. So, looking ahead at the schedule, you have the Browns week 4 coming in historic US Bank Stadium. 2-1, getting it done, Stefanski and crew. Now, they easily could have been 3-0, but they just gave it up week 1 against the Chiefs. A really tough game. But, I mean, the Browns, they do have the best offensive line in the game, and it's going to be a long-ass day. You got Chubb, you got Kareem Hunt. OBJ is back. He looked pretty damn good against the Bears, but, of course, it's the Bears. So, but Stefanski coming back in, and the cat's in the cradle and silver spoon. And Stefanski has familiarity with the Vikings, but also the Vikings have familiarity with Stefanski. So that could also work in Zimmer and that defense's favor. So it's going to be a tough game, but it is at home in the friendly confines. Maybe Dalvin will be back. Who really knows, but we'll see. Week 5 Lions. I feel bad for the Lions, man. Well, I feel bad for Lions fans because all of the hope just goes down the drain. And the Lions may struggle this year. Like, they may get 2 wins this year against the Bears, but I mean, that game against the Ravens, I mean, obviously it helps the Vikings in the standings to a degree, but yeah, you feel how do you lose to a 66-yard field goal that hits the crossbar? It's whatever. But yeah, the Lions, they're a couple of years away from being in primetime shape. Jared Goof is not the answer there, so it's whatever. At Carolina, this is going to be a good game. This is going to be a good game, man. I have a lot of respect for Matt Rule. I love what they did on defense, mainly because they used all of their 2020 draft picks on defense. Yeah, because they brought in a corner, they brought in Derek Brown, they brought in Jeremy Chin. So they are fast and they are crazy. Brian Burns is probably the most underrated edge rusher in the league. And Sam Darnold, that offense, they're looking pretty damn good. But also, Christian McCaffrey and his hamstring might not be back in time for this Week 6 game. And if he is, he may be limited because hamstrings, 4 to 6 weeks, depending on the strain. Plus, they're so easy to restrain, as we saw with Adam Thielen a couple years ago. So, the Vikings may get a break. But Chuba Hubbard's no slouch, man. Even though the Vikings drafted Kene Nwangwu ahead of Chuba Hubbard, he had that phenomenal career at Oklahoma State. He's going to be in the mix. There you go. Then you got the Week 7 bye. Now, a lot of people are complaining that the bye is early this year. But if you look at the Vikings and how it breaks up with Thursday Night Football, I think you're pretty good. Because you get a bye after 7 weeks, and then after, short week, after playing the Lions at Detroit, then you have to come home, but at least it's at home for Thursday Night Football. And then you have a full 10 days, 10, 11 days, because you get a full week off, and then you play Monday Night Football. So you get the maximum time off for a game where you play in back-to-back weeks. So it's almost like a mini bye there, even though the Vikings do have to come back from Detroit. Man, St. Detroit, man, this is Super Bowl. So you got the bye. Cowboys Sunday Night Football. Well, I still don't know what to make of the Cowboys. I don't. Like, Mike McCarthy is obviously not a genius. We're very familiar with him. Familiarity also cuts both ways. Dak can be legit. CeeDee Lamb is going to be a problem on defense. Micah Parsons is an emerging star. Who knows if Lawrence will be actually, DeMarcus Lawrence probably won't be back by then. Trevon Diggs is also an emerging star on that Cowboys defense, but you don't really know which Cowboys team is going to show up. They're sort of like the Vikings in that manner, but at least it's at home. US Bank Stadium is going to be rocking. First primetime game in over 2 years, man. Let's go. First primetime game at home with fans in over 2 years. Let's go. And then You got the tough part of the schedule. So you're at Baltimore. They're 2-1. Harbaugh's teams are always tough. Rashad Bateman, who started practicing, who was going to be the savior of the Ravens receiving corps, should be playing within a couple of weeks, and maybe he'll be hitting his apex by week 9. So that's going to be tough either way. Then you're at LA. Justin Herbert is looking pretty damn good, even though he was not the 2020 Offensive Rookie of the Year. # not my Offensive Rookie of the Year. And I mean, that stadium is pretty damn legit. But they need to check things out. They need to get logistics. They need to check out the locker rooms because they're going to be there in February. That's right, man. That's right. But that's going to be a hell of a game. It's going to be a good one. And then you really start the NFC division slate. I don't really count Detroit. So you got the Packers at home, Week 11, US Bank Stadium, Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers looks like he weighs 170 pounds, and that's legitimate. And that's very concerning, considering he has hollow bones, the bird bones. So we'll see. But the Packers have issues. They do. Like, their pass rush isn't exactly where it was in previous seasons. Jar is a stud, but the rest of that secondary sort of, yeah. They're having trouble in their linebacker unit. So offensively as well, Aaron Jones is emerging as a stud. He's the best Aaron on offense. Their offensive line is still in flux. Who knows if Bakhtiari will be back by this stage of the game. They got Elton Jenkins playing left tackle, which I have a ton of respect for Elton Jenkins, and he's doing fine. And should we have taken Elton Jenkins over Garrett Bradbury? I don't know. Who really knows? But besides Devontae Adams, I mean, the tight end catches a lot of touchdowns, but other than that, other than Tanyan, yeah, I don't know. Like, who are you really scared of? Whatever. At the Niners, Trey Lance should be starting by now, right? I mean, Jimmy G, he's fine. He's fine. And I understand that he's a sunk cost and you want to stick with him, but Trey Lance is the future, man. And Trey Lance, in just those little sprinklings, getting him some experience. It looks great. The pride of Marshall, Minnesota. You're out in Santa Clara, the home crowd, whatever. But they should be 3-0. They should be 3-0. But Kyle Shanahan's clock management is like, oh, let's just give Aaron Rodgers 40 seconds. Why not? Why? Yeah, let's give Aaron Rodgers 40 seconds when all they need is a field goal, and Mason Crosby has been a nail driver since he got over his yips, and our main problem is our cornerbacks. Other than that, it was a really good plan. Great. Then you're at Detroit, man. I like we mentioned. Then you got that quick turnaround. The Steelers are garbage. My God. The Steelers are really rough right now, and Big Ben should have retired. Offensively, they are a mess. The offensive line is one of the worst in football. Najee Harris is having a tough time. The Steelers receivers drop everything. They drop everything except for when they're filming TikTok videos. Like Juju and Claypool are really good at that. And on defense, it's the highly paid man. It's TJ Watt. Minka's been stinka. Fitzpatrick so far this year. Joe Hayden is still legit to a degree, but I don't want to say I'm kind of glad that you got the Steelers on Thursday Night Football, but I'm kind of glad the Vikings got Steelers on Thursday Night Football. They got the Bears on Monday Night Football. Dun, 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 dun. Matt Nagy should be fired by this point, but they won't because they're cheap, and also the GM is tied to Matt Nagy. But, I mean, Justin Fields should and could be still playing, although, I mean, him behind that offensive line, yes, he set himself up for a couple of those sacks by holding on to the ball too long, but that offensive line is doing him no favors. He may be hurt by then. Like, this may be Foles, but, I mean, Foles is the Vikings killer, so who really knows? And all the gripe and moan about the schedule, we get the Bears twice at the end of the season. So you got 2 division games against a very wounded opponent late in the season. We'll take that. Plus, the Vikings play 3 of their last 5 games at home. So we'll take it. And the road games are prime time. So, and in the division. And one is against the Bears. And the Rams, that's going to be a good-ass game, man. Christmas time, the Rams are the story of the league right now, but the Vikings get them at home. Gotta be loud. This could be a showdown. Like, this could have playoff seeding ramifications if everything goes according to Hoyle the rest of the season. And then at Green Bay, Lambeau, Week 17. Get it, son. The snow coming down. The snow's coming down. Jordan Love is in for Aaron Rodgers, who had to go on IR because his shattered body didn't make it through the season. Happens. And then you got the Bears Week 17 at home, just in case you need it. I don't think the Vikings will need it. I think they'll have the playoffs and the division locked up. I think we'll see Kellen Mond, Kellen Mond, Kenan Wangu, ISM, all the kids just playing and get some experience week 18 against the Bears. But that's it. That's a look at the Vikings schedule as of right meow. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work pool of some in the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.